Good morning, students. Our today's topic in the subject of Business Studies O levels is fixing pay levels. So, focus yourself. This is an easy topic to understand. Only few concepts are here, but even then, your concentration is required. So, concentrate yourself. We are going to start now. Making decisions, businesses have to decide how much to pay their workers. Pay is determined by, so this is the main factor. How much a business wants workers, the demand for the workers, and how many workers want the job, the supply of the workers. So it means the demand and supply matters in fixing the pay. The more the demand of a job, more will be the pay. And if less the demand of a job, less will be pay. Okay, a business is likely to consider factors such as, so these are the factors which a business considers in fixing the pay. The qualification and experience of the workers. So more the qualification and experience, more will be the pay. Their contribution to the business. So if they are contributing a lot and business is earning a lot, business is making progress a lot because of some certain employees, they will get more, they will earn more. And what the going rate is for the type of the workers in the market, and market rate will also matters. Okay, now we are going to understand the topic through a story. Ledbroke Group PLC operates within the worldwide hospitality and gaming industries. Its Hilton hotels are luxury hotels operating at the top end of the market. Ledbroke is the world's largest off-track betting organization with operations in the UK, Ireland, Belgium, Gibraltar, the USA, Argentina, Puerto Rico, and Peru. In the UK, it runs betting shops and casinos. Okay, the demand and supply. Different workers at Ledbroke earns different amounts of the pay. The group chief executive of the company, for instance, so concentrate yourself, for instance, earned a basic salary of £410,000 in 1996, with bonuses and fringe benefits raising this to £1.2 million. So apparently this looks a very high pay, but story is left. So concentrate yourself now. On the other hand, a part-time waiter or waitress in a Hilton hotel might earn £2,000. There is a number of the reasons why workers earn different amount. However, they can best summarized in terms of the demand for and supply of the workers. For instance, there are very few people who have the skills needed to be a successful chief executive of the Ledbroke. So this is the reason he is earning a lot. On the other hand, the company is prepared to pay a high price to attract the right person to the job. In 1996, the company made a profit before tax of £59.2 million. So look at the big amount the company has earned, and this is the amount which is earned basically. This is the basically earned because of the contribution of the chief executive. A less successful chief executive could have lost the company millions of the pounds of the profit through making the wrong decisions. £1.28 million is relatively small when so much money is at stake. So look at the money that is at stake, and this is the amount which is very less as compared to this one. So the company is very happy in giving this amount to the chief executive, because the chief executive is doing a lot and the company is earning a big amount. However, there are millions of the people in the UK and the rest of the world who could be a waiter or waitress in the hotel. It is also true that Hilton Hotels needs a lot of the staff for its hotels. Overall, though the company can attract enough staff to work for it at relatively low rates of the pay, because more people are available, more people want to work as a waiter or waitress, jobs are less. So that's why the pay of the waiter or waitress is less as compared to the chief executive. But chief executive vacancy is one, but that requires the high qualification, high experience, high motivation, high levels of the creative ideas. So that's why his pay is much more than the waiter and waitress. In general, the greater the demand for the workers and less the supply, the higher will be the rate of the pay. Factors affecting the demand and the supply. So here are the factors that will affect the demand and supply. Number one, skills, training, and education. Most workers could do unskilled workers like general cleaning in a Ledbrock betting shop. There are far fewer workers with skills and qualifications, for instance, to become accountants for the company. So as there are fewer skilled workers, they tend to be paid more than unskilled workers. That is why education, skills, and training is so important for any future career. The next factor that affect is experience. Experienced workers are likely to know more about the job than someone new to the job. This tends to make them more productive, and so more is in demand by the employer. Businesses like Ledbrock often recognize this by building age and length of the service into some of their payment systems. In some payment systems, workers are given increments or extra amounts for each year of the service completed. Each increment is worth X pounds more in salary. So experience matters. In short, this is the concept. Motivation and retention. Pay is an important motivator for workers. Ledbrock does not want its workers to feel underpaid because this will demotivate them. It may also lead to workers leaving the company to work for another employer, paying higher wages. So in the long term, Ledbrock has to pay the market rate. So whatever the market rate is, that is the factor in paying, in fixing the pay of the workers, the wage which is just high enough to retain existing staff and recruit new staff. The next thing that matters in fixing the pay is the conditions of the work. The more desirable the conditions of the work, the lower the pay a business tends to offer its workers. For instance, managers of the Hilton hotels are offered free accommodations. So if free accommodations are given, so the workers will agree even at lower pay. Without this perk, Ledbrock would have to pay more to find people to work as managers. Coal miners and North Sea oil rig workers tend to be paid more because their jobs are unpleasant and dangerous. So if the job is more unpleasant and dangerous, the pay will be much higher because less people will tend to do that job. Next factor that affect the fixing of the pay is trade union. Trade unions are organizations which exist to protect the interest of their members. They fight for high pay on behalf of their members. Strong trade unions may be able to force a higher rate of the pay out of the business than if workers had to negotiate individually. The next factor that affect the fixing of the pay is the economic environment. Workers at the Hilton hotels in Egypt are paid less than the workers at the Hilton hotels in the London or Australia because the economic environment is different. The Egypt is underdeveloped and London and Australia are developed. So in London and Australia, pay will be higher as compared to Egypt. This is mainly because Egyptian workers are prepared to work for lower wages. Equally, workers in Northern Ireland or Wales are prepared to, or on average, to work for lower wages than workers in London and South East. When the economy is growing, so look now, when the economy is growing, as in the mid 1990s, wages tend to rise at faster rate than the trend. Employers need to take on more workers to cope with the increased demand because economy is growing. So there is a high demand of the workers to meet the demands. This extra demand for workers lead to higher wages. In a recession, so this is the reverse of the economic boom. In a recession, as in the early 1990s, with orders falling and unemployment rising, wage increases tend to be lower than the trend. Okay, here are some questions which I have made from the lecture. So look at these questions and try to solve them. This will be much helpful for you people to attempt the papers in a very nice way. So this was the lecture, students. read this lecture again, understand it, learn it, and make your notes. Thank you so much.